Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here today. Madam Secretary, for a year, you maintained that no U.S. citizens have been arrested or detained by ICE or CBP. After hearings that I conducted in the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigation as the ranking member, you admitted finally in a letter written to me just last month that, in fact, U.S. citizens have been detained and arrested. I'm going to ask, Mr. Chairman, that that letter be entered into the record. Thank you. You put the number as 38. Far more American citizens have been arrested by ICE and CBP, probably in the hundreds, perhaps the thousands. Have you met with any of the American citizens who have been detained or arrested by your agency?
The individuals that may have been detained and arrested were individuals that could have been obstructing law enforcement operations
you haven't met
and
with
committing
them,
crimes
correct?
that way, and that we would have
I'd
been
like
individuals
to introduce you to
until their identity
them.
was confirmed.
Leo, Javier, and Miramar, would you please stand? These three individuals, Madam Secretary, were arrested by your agency, Leonardo Garcia Venegas, Javier Ramirez, and Miramar Martinez. Do you know what your agents did to Leo Venegas? I'll tell you. On May 21 of last year, they entered the private property at a house that he was constructing without consent, without a warrant, illegally. Again, on June 12th, they entered private property, a home where he was doing construction. He is a United States citizen, born in Florida. They seized him and ignored and disregarded his proof of citizenship. Wouldn't you agree with me that no U.S. citizen simply working lawfully should be arrested?
In law enforcement operations across the country, there are times when U.S. citizens
yes or no.
may be arrested or detained until their identity is confirmed and that they haven't committed a crime.
U.S. citizens should not be arrested when they are obeying the law, they have no criminal record, and they are engaged in a lawful activity?
Sir, in situations where law enforcement, regardless of the agency across the country, when there is probable
let
cause,
me tell you about Javier
may
Ramirez. Do you know what your agents did to Javier Ramirez? He was on his own private property when he was assaulted by masked agents, his own property, without a warrant, without consent. They said, get him. He's Mexican. He was violently slammed into the ground while being handcuffed and taken into custody, despite telling officers that he is a United States citizen and even showing them his passport. And when he was asked what he was being arrested for, you know what they said? We don't know. Wouldn't you agree that targeting someone just because he is or looks like he is Mexican when he is a United States citizen is wrong?
Senator, we do not target people based on their race or ethnicity. We do targeted operations based on criminal backgrounds and information that we have.
Madam Secretary, Javier was detained for over 4 days. He was denied medicine that he needed for severe diabetes. He lost consciousness. He had severe hypoglycemia. Wouldn't you agree with me that medical treatment should have been provided to him?
Senator,
denied.
Medical treatment is provided to individuals in our processing and detention centers. Within 12 hours, they have a medical examination. We get them the prescriptions and medication that they need. They also have a full evaluation.
Will you commit to take action and to look into why he was denied medical treatment?
Yes, I will look into that case specifically for you, Senator.
Miramar Martinez is with us today as well. She's standing right behind you. She was on her way to donate clothing at her church when she came across an unmarked car. The agents sideswiped her car. 3 masked agents in camouflage stormed out and one of them pulled out his gun and fired at her moving vehicle, hitting her 5 times. She almost bled to death. Wouldn't you agree that shooting Miramar Martinez on her way to donate clothing at her church, a United States citizen from Chicago, is wrong?
Sir, I don't know the situation or the case. I'll look into it to ensure that all the procedures were followed properly.
I'm glad you'll look into it. Miramar, by the way, was falsely charged with impeding law enforcement, but the case actually fell apart. The judge dismissed it as being trumped up. He dismissed it with prejudice. And in fact, the agent who shot her, I'm not going to name him, but you know who he is, was quoted on social media the day or so afterward. And he said, quote, "I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys." And quote, "Cool, I'm up for another round of around and find out." Will you join me in condemning that agent?
Sir, that situation I don't know the details of, but I will look into that.
I don't know why you can't join me in saying it was wrong to shoot Miramar, almost cause her death, and then brag about it. Wouldn't you agree with me that it was wrong?
Well, sir, the way that you have portrayed it, it appears to be, but let me look into the case so I can speak to the specifics of it.
In fact, apparently, contrary to what you just said, you actually supported the agent who shot Ms. Martinez 5 times. He's quoted as saying, when he was asked, everyone has been supportive, including Chief Bovino, Chief Banks, Secretary Noem, and El Jefe himself, referring presumably to President Trump. Is the agent who shot Ms. Martinez still on the job?
Sir, our law enforcement officers conduct operations every day according to procedures and to training and the experience that they have. When there is something that is not done properly,
Ms. Martinez still on the job carrying a gun?
I don't know the details. I will find out and get that information to you.
Would you agree with me that he shouldn't be on the job carrying a gun?
I will look into this case and get back to you on the details. I'm not familiar with it.
I think Americans would find it absolutely terrifying that that agent is still on the job carrying a gun. And the fact that you can't tell me that you will take him off?
Sir, do you know who Angel Samanago is? Do you recognize that name?
This
is an individual that was murdered in your state by an illegal alien,
of rights and trust.
duct taped.
The answers are
It looks like it was an assassination.
And I would have hoped
I haven't heard you say one victim's
better
name
answers today
from illegal immigrants that are here perpetuating violence against people.
Would you like to say anything to Ms. Miramar, Ms.
I'd like to hear you say the name of one of our victims of illegal criminal activity and fight for one of those victims so that we can stop as many of them from being created in the future by people who should never be in this country to begin with. Illegal individuals and aliens that are in this country.
Ms. Martinez were dismissed with prejudice. Let me ask you about a memo that evidently was written by the acting director of ICE. This memo, have you seen it?
I can't tell what it says. I see lots of memos. I see
this memo
many a
is
day.
by Acting Director Todd Lyons. It's been frequently referenced in the hearing that I conducted by the whistleblower who testified, Brian Schwank, as being the basis for instructing ICE agents. It specifically says that ICE agents should violate the Fourth Amendment and break into people's homes without a judicial warrant. Do you agree with it?
I will look at that memo, sir. I can't read it from here, but if it's referencing administrative warrants, that is the proper legal tool that this body has given us to utilize on immigration enforcement operations. Those administrative warrants were provided and affirmed by the Supreme Court. Let me ask you one last question. And we'll continue to use those.
Madam Secretary, does Corey Lewandowski have a role in approving contracts? And if so, what is that role?
His role as a special government employee, special government employees work for the White House and the administration. There's thousands of them.
A prominent focus is on the recent admissions by Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, acknowledging that hundreds, possibly thousands, of American citizens have been detained or arrested by IC and CBP, contradicting earlier claims that no U.S. citizens had been impacted. The conversation underscores the importance of accountability, urging Noem to face the American people directly and address reports of wrongful detentions, including cases of citizens like Leo Venegas and Javier Ramirez, who were subjected to illegal searches and mistreatment despite proof of citizenship. The discussion also condemns instances of excessive force, such as the shooting of Miramar Martinez, a U.S. citizen, by immigration agents. The speaker calls for transparency and justice, criticizing the apparent support of aggressive tactics and the personnel involved. Throughout the dialogue, there is a strong emphasis on protecting lawful Americans, condemning racial profiling, and ensuring that immigration policies do not violate citizens' rights. The video calls on authorities to be accountable and transparent to restore public trust and uphold justice for all Americans affected by immigration enforcement actions.